Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to those viewing live. Welcome to those viewing the recording. Welcome to Code Call. This is a day 6 of 100 days of code with Leon Anderson, and today we're going to talk about Flexbox. Leon, how are you doing?
Doing pretty well, pretty well. Excited to have the weekend starting, so maybe I can get to JavaScript on Sunday or something. Maybe I can finish CSS tomorrow.
That sounds like a great name for a rom-com movie, JavaScript on Sunday. So let's get started with what have you done today?
I have done basically. I think I've just done the Flexbox section in the web development course, and and I did the photo block code along, which is just an exercise from the section before the final exercises of that session, a section where I built a small fake website. It could be the portfolio of a photographer, a little bit Instagram style layout, and to use the properties for basically for divs and what else? I mean, I don't having a hard time to remember what was the main lesson of that, but basically playing around with margins, with padding and size and all these attributes, all these properties, and putting them in order. I had one thing I couldn't figure out what the issue was. Maybe we can look into that code as well later. Very small thing, and then afterwards, I went into the Flexbox section. I almost finished it, but the last video is I'm still in the last video. Flexbox is basically when you want elements on your page to be in certain order or certain arrangement, it's easier to do it with the Flexbox mode or the Flexbox properties than without them. And then just with putting things in order and maybe working with inline and block elements, and you basically start or do a Flexbox with a section or with a section is a div as far as I remember. With the section, and then you can put some background color into it to see where the boundaries of it are, where the borders are, and then you can place some elements inside. In this exercise or in this section here, we put some colored background colored, just I think divs without any specific. So basically squares, and then we with the main axis and the crossing axis, which can be horizontal or vertical, like they can switch depending on what mode you use, depending on the flex direction or on the flex or on the. I'm not sure if it's flex direction where you put in row or column, or reverse row or reverse column. Is that the flex direction or?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And then different, like when you have placed your elements in rows or in columns, then you can kind of stylize or arrange them with justify content. And there are commands or yeah, are these commands then? Is that called a command, or is command only when you type something in the command line? Properties, I guess.
Yeah, property sounds good.
There are properties like spaced evenly, so the elements take into account how much space is there in the box, in the section, and then it's divided evenly, so the elements are evenly spaced. Very descriptive property. And yeah, different properties like that, and then a lot of different yeah, well, there are so many combinations of stuff one can do. It's where you can align the elements, or where you align the start of the elements, and depending on, yeah, it's a bit like a Rubik's cube. Maybe I'm having the image of a Rubik's cube because we played around with colored tiles, with colored squares, and but it also had so many dimensions to it, with the main axis and the crossing axis, and how the dynamics switched, where suddenly the elements started to align from the lower right corner instead of from the upper left, and then some of them aligned in the center of the column, some of them didn't, because you can also align individual items in different things, and it's very sometimes they squeeze inside of the border of the box, and sometimes they go beyond the box. So I think they go beyond. So I think they squeeze inside the box. For example, if you go into row direction, flex direction row, and then you make the window, the browser window of that page so small that the flexbox is shrinking until the point that it's as small or smaller than the elements together, and then I think it squeezes. But if you are in column mode, then you can't. Then it goes. Like it depends on which side of the browser you're shrinking the box from, with the boundaries of the browser window, yeah, depending on the directions, then sometimes it's within the flexbox, sometimes not, and there are so many different dynamics. It's I guess it's not possible to describe them all right now, because it's I think the whole section is 1 hour 15 minutes, just demonstrating and showing all the different variations. So I guess not. I guess I'll stop here with describing all these different different combinations. But what makes sense to still talk about is that this is very helpful for responsive design, because you can have elements way more. You can have way more control over the elements in different and know how they behave in different sizes of the window, and then if you would have like static or just using the cascades and specificity of CSS alone. And also, as far as I remember, Flexbox is a quite new CSS feature. And at the end of this section, we also went into media queries. It feels related to Flexbox, but I think it's not. I would say it's something different, because it's more like a container of. So if you type add media, then you can type in some properties of the window size, for example, of the browser. So if you have like a smartphone browser or desktop browser or half open, like half screen browser on the desktop, and there you can basically set the environment for which you can set completely different properties for all the HTML elements, depending on environment to environment. So you can have a media query for smartphone, one for tablet sideways, one for smartphone sideways, one for desktop full, and all these different things. And I think that's all the things covered today. And I was playing around with the media queries right before we started the call, and I definitely have to play a bit more around a bit more with it, because some things that I wanted to do didn't fully work out. Like I wanted to make an H1 go very big when it's very small very small width, and then make it small in the medium range, and then medium small in the wide range, just randomly, not for any reason, but just to test out how the commands work. And there you have to work with minimum and maximum widths, and then it also then the order on how the media queries are cascading also makes a difference on how much or on which of the medias gets activated or taken seriously by the browser and which not, even though they are. Yeah, I don't know. just hierarchical conflict resolution stuff that can get quite complex, I guess. Yeah, I think that's all of my brainstorm for today.
It's great, yeah. So when we share this Tableau, we have the media query implemented that you've talked about. So when the screen is big, we have a small text that is blue. Then as the screen gets smaller, we get a red heading that is a little bit bigger. And then once the screen is smallest, we get a black heading that is very big. And let's look at the code for it. So we create a default size for default big screens where we say, hey, by default, the H1 has a font size of 24 pixels and is big. Usually you want to use REM, right, because it's better, but I just did it. So we get an example working quickly here. And then we can say, hey, when the screen width is up to 1024 pixels, then we make the font size a little bigger, and also we change the color just so the example is easier to see when the breakpoint is being hit. And then for the last media query, we say when the screen is at most 768 pixels wide, then we make the font the biggest and make the color black. And again, here's how it looks. Small screen, media query hits, and very big font, black. Then once the screen gets wider, the next media query is heading, and now the font is a little smaller and turns red. And then for the large screens, we get a blue font and the smallest font size.
Yes.
Awesome. Is there anything that we want to look at together? You hinted at that you maybe have a question. Is there anything that we should talk about?
Yeah, we can check if the screen share works. Then I can share the fake website from today.
Yeah, let's do it.
Where is it? Other properties. No. Yeah, I definitely have to order my documents, my scripts here in the Explorer, because I don't know where I am. Is it in units? No. Display?
Classic.
No.
And I love how people, when they watch this one day, they'll be able to just relate to this, because maybe if you also just started out to code, these are like the little things in the beginning, that like not knowing where your files are and stuff. So it's totally normal, and I think everyone can relate to these things. And I also love how everyone will be able to relate. And if you watch this in the future, maybe you will be able to relate to the journey and to the little challenges, but also to all of those wins that get stacked daily, especially if you code daily, even if it's just 10 minutes, 20 minutes, just keep up the habit and stack the wins to get better and better, because you want to think about why you do it. Find your why, and if you find your why, then find your how.
Yes, I found it.
Awesome.
Luckily, Cold Steel put some proper naming on his on his folders that I copied into. So I have to load it up into the browser. Here we go. And then, oh, the issue is solved. For some reason, it's showing properly right now. Okay. So, yeah, basically, I don't know if it makes sense to. Yeah, that's weird. So, I have a. Yeah, let's just screen share, I guess. Okay. Oh, hello. F11. Oh yeah. Okay. Screen share. Come on. Okay. And I go into the blog page. Are you seeing my?
I can see it, but the viewers cannot see it yet. Are you ready? Can I put it up?
Yeah, it should be fine.
Good.
Yes.
So I'm putting it on screen.
Okay. So the issue
Visible now.
Pardon?
The screen is shared now, so people can see the screen now.
Okay. Yeah, so the issue I had was that this line, which is the bottom border of a nav.
Can you zoom in a little bit? It's very hard to see, especially in the code, just like you usually do with Control Plus.
Can you see it now?
Yes, that's better.
So this one basically, yeah, this is the bottom of this one. This line here. It's set to the width of this. It's like to the same width, which is 30%, I think, of the page. And the issue I had was that this was like halfway here in the middle, like the margin between the nav and the picture was smaller for some reason. And for some reason, it now, as I loaded it back up, it's exactly in the right place. So I was confused because here the margins around these pictures are all perfect, and then this nav bar was a bit closer to it, but there was no reason because, yeah, as I said, the margins are all working except for here, which was a bit weird. And I guess that was kind of, I don't know, a glitch in the matrix or whatever. I don't know, because I didn't change anything afterwards. I just reloaded it back up. Yeah.
Well, great that it works well. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that solved itself, and yeah.
That's, by the way, the famous "Have you tried plugging it in and out?" Right? How you fix all Wi-Fi routers ever. The same sometimes with code. Like sometimes just have you tried reloading the code and it just works.
Okay, so this is something that happens more often, or?
Well, there's obviously always a reason there, right? But we as humans maybe not see them.
Yes. The weird thing is that I didn't change anything. I was like, no, the settings are right, so the code has so it has to be right. So
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. I go on to the next program. The settings are right. Can't do anything about it. Here we the margin. That's it.
We may never know.
Yes, which is okay. Oh yeah, what I really liked is this calculation thing, that you can divide percents and stuff, which I guess will make designing ratios and stuff very handy. Yes, I
Yes.
really enjoy that, or I really like that property.
Sweet. And then I think we've got everything right. Is there anything else you want to mention, you want to bring up?
No, I think that's it for today.
Awesome. So if Leon's journey is inspiring you, think about that you can also become a coder. You can be very well paid. You can work from anywhere. You can build crazy things that will help humanity in various forms, have a true impact on the world while working one of the most interesting and fun and easy to learn jobs in the world. So just get started, try it yourself, put yourself on the 100 days of code challenge where you just code every day a little bit. Obviously, if you have the time, and the more time you invest, the better, right? But it's mainly about building that coding habit so that your brain gets better for you, your subconscious mind gets better for you day by day, just through the contact that you have to programming. Yeah, this has been the Code Call for 100 Days of Code. And we talked about Flexbox, we talked about media queries. And until next time, on the Code Call with
Leon Anderson and my mentor,
Alice Nil. See ya.
see you.